So, what type of soundbar is best for you? Hey guys, how's it going? Justin here from Waltz, and today's video we're going to be talking all about soundbars. We're going to cover the different types of soundbars and which one might be the best for you. And if you've clicked on this video, you've probably already made the decision that sound is important, so I shouldn't have to convince you. But in case you don't think it's important, I would argue that it's 50% of the experience, if not more. Why do I say that? Well, listen to this clip of high quality video with low quality audio, and then we'll switch to low quality video with high quality audio, and you tell me which one is more tolerable.
So this is an example of amazing video quality with terrible audio quality. Let's switch and see what sounds better.
Now our video quality has decreased, but our audio quality has gone through the roof. Major improvements. What do you guys think? So yeah, to me, I would personally give up a little bit of video quality to make sure I have a good sounding system. And I know subconsciously most people would think, hey, TV is definitely the most important thing. But if you have this awesome, amazing, bright, vivid TV and you're watching this amazing Dark Knight Rises or whatever you're watching, and it just does not sound good, it's kind of underwhelming. So having a soundbar to me personally is a minimum, and that's what we're here today to do, is to help you figure out which one is best for you. Oh, and if you don't really understand why soundbars are such a big thing nowadays, essentially when TVs were first built and became readily available to consumers, they usually came with speakers built into the bases of the bottom. We're talking about these big DLPs, or on the side, and you can actually get pretty good quality audio out of your TV. And it wasn't something that you typically worried about. But now what's happened is that TVs have gotten so incredibly thin that the speakers, they just keep getting squished and squished and squished until basically you have something that's about this thin, and it's the size of a laptop, and that's what the speaker in your TV is, and it's going to be firing down. So if you have carpet, it's going to get muffled in the carpet. If you don't have carpet and you have a stand, it's going to bounce in the wrong direction usually. So it's just not the ideal audio solution, and that's why you'd be looking at getting a soundbar, because soundbars are relatively easy to hook up, but they don't cost nearly as much as a full 5.1 or 7.1 surround system. So anyway, that's the reason why soundbars are such a big thing nowadays. Now, there is a wide variety of soundbars and soundbar brands, so it can get kind of confusing to be a consumer in this market, but we're going to go over some of the main trusted brands that we always like to go for. Starting off with the major TV brands like Sony. Sony soundbars are usually rated to be the best for movies because of how clear the voice can be. They have a large variety of soundbars with Sony, but one of the things that I've kind of been a little bit bummed about is that they've detached the subwoofer from some of the higher end models so that you have to buy it separately, and I just like it all coming in one box and just automatically pairing. With that, you have to press the pair button, and sometimes it can be a little confusing, but overall, Sony makes some great products, and their soundbars definitely match the quality of their TVs. Moving on to Samsung, and what Samsung is known for is consistently bringing high quality products at all types of different price ranges and really giving the customer, options, not just saying, hey, you got to get this or this. There's this, and this, and this, and this, and this. So basically, they have a soundbar at just about every single price point, and it really comes down to the individual features that you might find between the differences. So basically, they have a soundbar at every single price point with a couple in between. They pair well with Samsung TVs with features like Q-Symphony, which is restricted to only Samsung. If you want to know more about Q-Symphony, you should definitely go watch our video on that. But basically, to sum it up, essentially what it's doing is it's taking the TV audio and the soundbar audio and combining them together. But this is only available with the Q-level TVs and Q-level soundbars. So if you have like a TU-7000 and then an HWB-550, it's not going to work if you had a Q60 with a Q600. And then you have LG, which LG soundbars typically aren't as popular just because most of the people who get them are getting OLED TVs, and they have to find a good way to mount them, and they're kind of bulky, so they don't really fit too well on the wall. But if you have an entertainment center below, they can look really nice because they are super sleek. They also do a great job with Dolby Atmos, and overall they're very consistent and they work pretty well. And if you don't want to go with one of the main brands that matches the TV, there's definitely a ton of, independent audio retailers that have their own brands that are great and they'll work great, but the ones that I recommend that I think are the best and have proven to stand up to quality and just consistency would have to be Klipsch, Dennon, and Polk. All three of these brands can be pretty trusted when it comes to soundbars, and they produce pretty hefty bass, especially some of the Polk products like the Magnifi Max. If you guys haven't seen a video on the Magnifi Max, you should definitely go watch it because that is one of my favorite soundbars right now. The nice thing about the independents are that they're going to work the same with every TV brand, and they don't need special features like Q-Symphony or different, connectivity issues that you might have. The only difference between, going with someone like Klipsch, Dennon, or Polk rather than, LG, Samsung, or Sony is that with LG, Samsung, and Sony, sometimes they come in with built-in features that when you plug it in, it works perfectly right away. Sometimes you have to kind of select it and set it up with, some of the independent ones. But again, it's not really a big issue. And, overall, these are the brands I trust. Now, you're probably wondering why I haven't mentioned Sonos. And the reason I haven't mentioned Sonos is there's a lot to talk about with Sonos. If you're not familiar with Sonos and the Sonos ecosystem, what's really cool about Sonos is that every time you buy a Sonos speaker and you put it in your system, it acts as its own individually controlled speaker. So you play music, let's say, I don't know, you have one in the kitchen and one in your bedroom and one in the backyard, right? You have 3 different Sonos pieces. What you can do is individually control the audio on every device. So let's say maybe you want it loud in the kitchen and loud in the backyard, but someone's sleeping in the bedroom, so you're going to have it turned down. You can individually control each speaker and its volume all through the Sonos app. And that includes soundbars. So if you have a soundbar, you might not have to get another speaker for that room. So that's the big reason why Sonos is better than going with, a regular soundbar, is because it actually integrates into a system. With, a regular soundbar, you're only going to be able to play whatever source is going into it. So yes, you could theoretically connect Bluetooth and play music that way, but then you're only limited to that soundbar. And so with Sonos, if you buy the soundbar, you can buy speakers as you go on, and it's a kind of build on type of system. So it just really depends on your needs. If you're someone who likes to host and entertain, have people over a lot, then Sonos might be the right option for you because you can continue to add and make the system really, really easy to use. I'm very familiar with Sonos in the fact that I've used it at my parents' house and my own house once I moved out. And I'll actually start off with my parents because we had an interesting setup. We had a Play 5, which was in the living room, and then we actually had 2 hardwired Klipsch rock speakers for the outdoor that we had hardwired to the house, and then we ran it into a Sonos amp. And it's really cool because the amp can actually turn your analog hardwired, we'll call them dummy speakers, into smart speakers and actually be able to control them off of your Sonos app as their own device. Now, if you're running 2, you can't individually control them, but you control them as one, and it's overall just something that I thought was really cool that they made. So that's where my love for Sonos officially began. But also, I moved into my own house, and now I have a Play Bar and 2 Play 5s, and whenever we have people over, or maybe I have to do a workout in the garage, I have speakers ready to go, and I can play anything I want everywhere and control the volume. So if someone's taking a nap, they don't have to be woken up. And I plan to get more, and that's just kind of the route I chose was Sonos. So if I upgrade anything, it's probably going to be the soundbar, and maybe I'll get like an Arc and even the new Era 300s. If you haven't seen our video on the Era 300s, they just released and they should be available soon. But anyway, that's my whole spiel on why I like Sonos so much. And if you're going to be buying a soundbar relatively new, then it should come with HDMI ARC and optical with pretty much every soundbar, so you should be able to connect that to your TV. It's always good to check, but I really wouldn't worry too much about the connections. Sonos is focused on integrated audio without having to go through all the smart home programming, as where, other soundbars are more focused on just delivering the experience. So again, my biggest recommendation is kind of look at your situation and say, hey, is this something that I'm going to only use for movies and, you know, watching my TV, or am I going to be entertaining a lot? Now, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what kind of soundbar you have or what you're thinking of getting, and maybe I can help you out. Other than that, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. If this is a product that you're interested in, make sure to email me at youtube@waltz so I can get you a special YouTube discount. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos like these, and we'll see you in the next one.